Testing 1, 2, 3. All praise, glory, and honor is most certainly due to the Most High. God, patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I want to say peace to you in the name of His Son. It's kind of a blessing every time that I can come before you to bring a message contained in His Word, and never do I count it as a light thing to do so. Today's message is entitled "A Prophet Like Unto Moses." Again, that title is "A Prophet Like Unto Moses." The Messiah, the one we call Jesus, Yehoshua, uh, he is not the Messiah just because somebody said it in your family. Maybe you grew up and Big Mama told you that was Jesus. You got to believe on him, or you heard it from somewhere. The Bible tells you, it's the scriptures. Peter said, even though he was a witness to the transfiguration, he said that we have a more sure word of prophecy. And so it is the prophets that we must go to. And one prophet in particular is Moses. Because when you look at the life of the Mashiach or the Messiah, it parallels the life of Christ. And Moses told you that the one that is the Messiah, the one that is chosen, the one that is his life would be just like him. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 18. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, and peace to you, brother. Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 15. This is Moses. Now Moses said in Deuteronomy 18 and 15, the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hear. Now the Muslims claim that this is referring to Muhammad. Couldn't possibly be Muhammad. Muhammad was not an Israelite, nor was he a true prophet. Okay. But he said it's gonna be of your brethren. So what does that mean? He will be an Israelite. Well, what we know that Jesus, who, just to show you this real quick, and again, the whole Bible is telling you about him. Genesis, the 49th chapter, Genesis 49, and we'll pick it up at verse 10. It said, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Shiloh means to whom it is, or to whom it belongs. Okay? It says, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. That's referring to the Messiah, the one we call Jesus in English. He came, he was of the tribe of what? Of Judah. Okay, he's called the son of David. Why? Because his earthly lineage, Joseph's lineage goes back to David. Okay, so now when we read 18 and 15, it says, the Lord thy God will raise up, in Deuteronomy, the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. That's when he says like unto me, that means their lives were parallel. Then he said, him shall you hear. So now let's go and see when this prophet came. Let's go to the gospel according to John. This is John chapter 1. John chapter 1. And we'll pick it up at verse 43. And notice what it said here concerning Jesus. It says, the day following Jesus would go forth into Galilee, and findeth Philip, and saith unto him, follow me. Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip findeth Nathanael, and saith unto him, notice what it said, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. Right? So I alluded to that lineage. But he said the one that Moses did write. And what did Moses say? He said a lot of things actually concerning Christ, even indirectly that pertain to Christ. But in particular, he said, one like unto me. So how is that the case? Well, let's go and look at a couple things. Let's go to the gospel according to Matthew and look at his birth. Matthew, the second chapter. In Matthew 2, we see what happened during his birth. In Matthew 2 and verse 1, it says, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen a star in the east, not come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. Now notice what they said. They didn't say, well, Big Mama said this. It says in verse 5, and they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet. So they went to the prophecies. Like as Peter said, we have a more sure word of prophecy. So it says, and they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written. So he would be born in a house of bread, or Bethlehem. He said of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. So that's they reference Micah. So that's how. So Micah told you he would be born in Bethlehem. Now Herod, King